Hi Year 10, this is your Fusion 360 tutorial to model your chessboard parts. This is going to be one of two videos. In this video, we're going to model all three pieces of your chessboard, and then in the second video, you will see how you can duplicate and assemble the chessboard just like the image shown on your screen. Let's get started. Open up Fusion 360 and open up yourselves a blank document. On your screen, I'm showing you a fully assembled chessboard. When I open up my data panel, you'll see that I've actually only built part 1 and part 2, and then I've imported them multiple times into my assembled drawing. So in order for us to get started, let's first of all, you'll copy exactly what I'm doing. Let's open up the data panel. You're going to press home in case you're not home, and you're going to say a new project. And you're going to eventually create multiple files, so we want to make sure that you are saving them all directly in the one file so you can access them. So this will be called 10, Unit 2. Awesome. Cool. Open that one up. And then you are going to come back into your main interface. Up the top, follow my mouse, we're going to say plus new design. Let's save that immediately so that we know that everything is going directly into our unit folder, and this could be called chessboard part 1. Save. Awesome. Now I'm just going to close that up so it expands my working space. First thing I'm going to do is turn on my origin eye so I can see my 3 planes that I'm going to connect my geometry to. I'm going to click Create Sketch, remembering that we work from left to right on our top interface. I'm going to select Create Sketch, and I'm going to select my ZX plane. So once I'm in my sketch palette, we remember that our interface changes. I've now got all my 2-dimensional tools ready to go. We are going to start with a rectangle. We are going to come in and we're just going to go to our 0, 0 plot on our graph here. And we're going to click and drag, and you'll see that our little dimensioning boxes come up. Our longer length of our rectangle here is going to be 350, which I'm typing on my keyboard. And then to switch to the other dimension box to put in the height, I press Tab on my keyboard, and I'm going to place in 90 millimeters there. Enter. Cool, I'm going to zoom out and recenter. Okay, so this is like the plank of wood that you are going to receive in the workshop, and now we're going to modify it to start creating our joints. So we're creating 2 finger joints. This piece is we're going to be deleting off the top and bottom third. So we're going to grab our 2-point rectangle again. We're going to go into the top left corner. We're going to click on our mouse or trackpad, drag out, and remember we always put our dimensions in. So our dimensions here are 19, because that is our material thickness. I'm pressing Tab on my keyboard to toggle between, and if we divide 90 by 3, that is 30. Enter. Excellent. I'm going to do the exact same thing from the base. Click on the base, drag sort of up. I'm going to input my measurements, 19, tab, 30. Tab. I'm just going to go ahead and do this on the other side as well. 19, tab, 30, enter. 19, tab, 30, enter. Okay. Now we want to delete the sections of our piece of timber here that we don't want. You can come up the top to the toolbar and select the scissors here, that's in our modify menu, or you can just press T for trim as the keyboard shortcut. So I'm just going to press T on my keyboard, and then you'll see it intersects any line that is overlapping. So I'm now going to go ahead and delete. I might have to double click all of the lines here that I no longer need because I am creating my first finger joint. Awesome. Now I'm going to go ahead and say finish sketch in the top right hand corner and come back into my 3D interface. On my view cube, I'm going to press home so I can see what I have built. I'm going to turn my origin planes off now with my little eye. I no longer need those. Coming up to the top toolbar, I'm going to press the extrude tool. If yours isn't in your quick grab menu, come into the create menu and press extrude, or you can see that there's that keyboard shortcut again for extrude. We are going to extrude our material to 19 mil. That is the width of our Tasmanian oak that we are using to create our chessboard. So press enter. Excellent. Now you'll notice that on our chessboard here, I've actually got a rebate, is what it's called, a rebate groove that is housed within each piece here, and that is so that our acrylic chessboard can sit within the board. And then again on our base, if I just hide the base here, you will see that there is a second rebate on the base there, and that is so that our base sits flush on the bottom and we don't have, we're not actually viewing our base as an additional material on the side. So that's just some design features that we've implemented in. So coming back to your first part here, your first chessboard side, I am now going to create a sketch, but instead of picking a plane this time, I'm actually going to pick an end side here. It doesn't matter which one you select, from which end I mean, so I'm just going to select this top surface here, and you'll see that when I come in to create a sketch, that has orientated my two-dimensional sketching from, so I can view it. I am going to select in my sketch palette here, which should be on the right-hand side. If your sketch palette is hidden, okay, it might not be expanded. You're going to need it now, so you're going to press the plus and make sure your sketch palette tools are available. We want to go to the first option, which is our line type, and we're going to create a construction line type. And this is just more for like our working out. So when we draw on our piece of timber with our pencil, this is like a really similar function. So I'm going to go from the top corner and I'm going to click and drag out, and I'm just going to place in a 3 at the top. Actually, no, let's change that to 5. A 5 at the top, but 10 millimeters down, okay? Now I have just placed that construction line in there so that I know now that when I select my 2-point rectangle, I want to come down 10 mil from the top to actually place our first rebate in. I am deselecting construction line because this is a part of my piece that I'm going to want to extrude. So once again, I'm going to go from where those two lines intersect. Fusion should locate there for you. And we're coming across 5 mil. And we're going to come in, this is actually the saw blade thickness on the table saw. Ian has already placed these into your pieces of Tasmanian oak for you, but that is a 3 mil rebate. So I'm going to press enter. And I'm going to do the same thing here at the base, okay? So we've put in our rebate for our chessboard lid, where the actual chessboard pattern is going to be. And at the base here, this is where we're going to put our plywood base in. So the same thing, I'm going to come right from the edge here, come up, and that is going to be 5 across, 5 mil across, tab, 3 mil up again, enter. Okay, and I'm going to finish sketch. I'm going to press home on my view cube so that I can then have my perspective view, but I'm actually going to spin that around. Cool. I'm going to press extrude again, but this time, instead of building on top of a two-dimensional design, I'm going to come down to my operation here, and I'm actually going to say to cut away. I'm going to first of all get my base rebate, and I'm going to drag that through my piece, and you can see that it's red, which means that it's actually cutting the rebate away from my shape, which is perfect. If I press shift, I can also select the top rebate, and that will replicate what I've done at the bottom. So there you go, I've got my 2 rebates that I want to cut away from my extrude menu, and I'm going to press OK. And then you can see that that first piece has got our rebates, it's got our finger joints. The last thing I need to do is add our timber render to this piece. So I'm going to come up to my big design button in the top left. I'm going to go into the render space, third one down. Brilliant. I'm going to come into setup, select appearance, and then I'm going to come into my material library. I'm going to select the wood, double click, and I'm going to apply, I think I applied the cherry, but you can select which timber you would like to apply. You click and drag. Remember, if you haven't used a material before, you might need to come across to the right hand side and there'll be the download icon. Mine is already downloaded, so I don't need to do that. Okay, close, come back up into my design space, and there you have your first piece. Well done. I'm going to save that drawing, save that, okay. And now I'm going to really quickly repeat that process, but to create the opposite side. So this is the piece we've just made. If I spin around here, you can see that I'm now going to create the opposite. It's not loving life. I'm now going to create the opposite of what I've just drawn. Okay, part one saved. I'm going to create a new design. I'm going to save this one straight away as well. So I'm going to use Chessboard part 2. Cool. I'm going to speed up a little bit this time because I'm repeating the same process. Okay, so I'm going to turn the origin on, just create a sketch on my, this time I'm going to select my ZY plane. Okay, excellent. I'm going to come in, grab my 2-point rectangle, 0, 0, click and drag out. It is 90 in height, toggle with your tab key, it's 350 in length, enter, zoom out. I am going to get my, this time I'm going to select my center point rectangle. So this is a little bit different. I'm going to then come down the side of my shape. And remember, it gives you that triangle when you're in the middle. So I'm going to click and drag out here. And I'm going to say, okay, the height is 30, but because I'm drawing a center rectangle, I'm actually going to make this one 60 so that I've still got the, no, I'm not, sorry, it's 19. So 19 times 2 is 38. Okay, so I'm actually going to select 38 there and enter. I'm going to repeat, create, rectangle, center rectangle. I'm going to come down the side here. Why does it not want to come down? Oh, there it goes. I just zoomed in a little bit. I need it to come up. There we go. My triangle. Click, drag out. It is a 30 height, 38 width. Enter. Okay, I'm going to select my trim tool and I'm going to delete the lines I no longer want. So I'm going to select the outside bits of my rectangle and then this inner part. Brilliant. And then I am left with, I could delete those two, that's another way. And then I am left with the opposite of what I have created in my first part so that they should go together. Great. I am now just going to press finish sketch up the top right. Go home on my view cube, going to turn my origin off, extrude, 19 mil, enter. Excellent. Same thing, I'm going to do my second sketch, create sketch on an exterior surface, construction line on from the top. I want that to be 10 by 3. Brilliant. I'm now going to select my rectangle again, but turn off construction line. I'm going to then come down 3. It is 5 at the top, 3, enter. Zoom out, come to the very base, and I'm going to repeat that. Okay, 3, 5, enter, finish sketch, press home on my view cube, select extrude. I'm going to select this first sketch. I could hold down shift on my keyboard and select my second. I'm I'm going to come over to my extrude menu. My operation is to cut, and I'm just going to drag those through my shape. Okay, cool. I'm now going to put my texture on, render space, come in to set up appearance, come down, find my cherry, drag it over, close, back into my design space, save my work. Brilliant, that's saving. Okay, well done. That is your two chessboard parts that are going to create the carcass or the square of your chessboard. We're going to create one more piece, and this is the base of your chessboard. So select a new design, I'm going to save it, chessboard base. Save. This one is really quick. We are going to go create sketch, and we're going to place this on our YX plane, the green and the red. Rectangle from the center, click and drag out. It is 322 by 322. It's a square. Enter. Zoom out. Finish sketch. Press home on our view cube. Extrude. This is just a 3mm extrude. 3mm. Enter. Now we're going to apply the plywood texture. It's a different type of timber that we're using, and remember that's our man-made wood. It is layers of veneer with the grain going in opposing ways, so it's nice and strong. It holds its integrity well, so that we can, I don't think there is a plywood, so I'm just going to go for a lighter timber. I think I'm going to go for the oak. Beautiful. Close. Yeah, so the plywood holds its integrity and strength, even though it's a thinner material, so that's really useful. Come into our design space and save. Okay, well done. That is your 3 parts of your chessboard that you're going to need to assemble in Fusion 360. Well done.